don't mind a light cigar. I do like a full cigar. To be honest, I like anything that smokes.
No, that's a like it's perfect morning cigar, man. I really enjoy it for the morning. You know, when you have like a coffee and then
that'd be really good.
if you've got the time, probably I never got the time, but if you got the time, you wake up and you make a coffee and
that's phenomenal. So where's this one from?
Dominican.
It is Dominican, yeah. Because the Columbus is Spanish, isn't it? Well, it's got Indonesian, Spanish, and something else.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So it's made with the Columbus is made with a leaf that is you need the cutter.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
It's made from a leaf that is grown in the Canary Islands.
Okay.
Which is La Breña, and that leaf is in both of the cigars, the black and then the negro and the azul.
Yeah.
Plus they got a blend from different regions. So the negro is a more of full body, and then the azul is a lighter body. But they both share La Breña. Now, these ones are Dominican, and then you have the Andullo, which is the shorter one. That's the one I said we can smoke.
Yeah.
That one has a special process of manufacture as well, because the way they ferment the leaves, one of the leaves, is the same way that the Taino Indians used to do it.
That's cool.
So instead of, using a curing house and then a pilon where they pile it up, these guys roll it up in a jagua, which is the royal palm tree.
Okay.
Has a big leaf that falls every time a new leaf comes out. They pick it up. It's quite wide and strong, and they roll the cigar, the tobacco there.
Yeah.
So it's very concentrated, and it has a very particular taste. So when you try that one, see if you can pick up any. Obviously, it has a blend, so it's not just Andullo. It's a couple of other cigars, other tobaccos, but go ahead. So that one has a Olor Dominicano binder, and the wrapper is Habano 2000 from Ecuador. And the filler is San Vicente Negrito. So it's Dominican, and you have Ecuadorian wrapper, yeah.
Nice. Because these are exclusive to Toro Puro, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. That is a hell of an accomplishment just to
knock
off the bat.
I've been playing with with having a cigar brand for a while. And at the beginning, I had a partner before, and he was already a distributor in the UK.
Yeah.
So when we started, the idea was, this is a blend that I'm testing out for the brand, yeah. So it's the box press figured out. So yeah, the idea was we were gonna be distributors. We were gonna import and sell direct to the customer.
Yeah.
That was what we were gonna do. And we did try for a bit, but it's quite hard when we realized afterwards, when you don't know many people in the industry. Like I'm not in London. If I was in London, then you go and you meet people, and I'm unknown. So there's a couple of people who do it, but they're known in the industry and the shops stuff. So whatever they bring, they can sell to the shops. So we were trying to sell direct to the customer, but the customer didn't know Toro Puro. So anyway, he left the company, and I turned it around and just give it another chance. And this way, I'm having like a proper shop now, the cigar shop, where we're gonna have exclusives.
Yeah, I like
which these are exclusives.
Yeah,
so we
have
have
quite a few as well.
Yeah,
you got a lot of different exclusives, and it was so wild because I mean, when you first announced, obviously Toro Puro was coming out, your marketing was brilliant. The videos you made on that was phenomenal. I love the one. I think there's a camera inside of the bag, and then you can. I love
one of these
video.
bags. Yeah, I got another one, a bigger one. Yeah.
That was
great. Cool, man.
Yeah, that was the first time. Obviously, I saw you. I knew you from you were originally Cigars Daily.
Daily Cigar.
Daily Cigars, and now you've recently changed it. Yeah. So I obviously knew of your account, but then
I'm guessing you know why I changed it, yeah?
Yeah, well, me and you had a conversation about this because obviously,
this is mine,
yeah, you carry on with. Because we both sort of have this struggle where within the cigar industry, it's so hard to come up with an original name. Obviously, mine being the Cigar Enthusiast or the Enthusiast podcast.
But it's a really cool name, though.
I love it, but at the same time, I look and it's like Cigar Enthusiast Geneva, Cigar Enthusiast this. And I'm just like, damn.
Well, the thing with Daily Cigar, I had that Instagram page. way before Cigar Daily come on. Because the guy from Cigar Daily used to work in another shop,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they had their own channel, and it was something else. But you know, I only kept it for Instagram, and then I didn't bother too much. I got busy with life, so I didn't push it. And then I saw him coming up. I was like, oh, but he's in America and I'm here. But then obviously he's grown so much now
Yeah, yeah.
that whatever I do is like on the shadows now. So I thought, you know,
Yeah.
I'll come up with something.
That's the thing. If
Different.
people are immediately, even though you have this account for years, they'll immediately assume, oh, you're just trying to like
Yeah.
sort of copy him and things like that. And it happens like.
The good thing is
itself.
that the account is quite large, so people knew me already from the account.
I was going to say, because you've got a really good following base on Instagram. And YouTube as well. Your YouTube channel's
Yeah, YouTube is doing good though.
really good. Because I find YouTube is the hardest to grow.
I agree, but I've had YouTube for a long time as well. But since October, since the launch of Toro Puro, I've been making content very constant.
Yeah, yeah.
Every Wednesday I drop a video. Since I started to do that, and also, you know, you got to play with the thumbnails and the titles and stuff.
Yeah.
So once you got the formula, kind of, I've noticed that I've started to grow a lot faster.
Okay, yeah.
Whether before it was like 1 subscriber a week or every 2 weeks, now it's like a day I get a couple of subscribers. And I got about 2 videos that I've kicked off for some reason in the last week. I'm like, yes, finally.
That's the thing,
but these are old videos, which is really weird. It's like an old video they just kicked off.
Yeah. That's so, do you think that's since you changed the name on there? Or yeah.
Yes. So that is something that I was always wondering, because every time you type Daily Cigar, because on YouTube it was Daily Cigar, it would be Cigar Daily that came up.
Yeah.
Because obviously he has a large following, like the activity on the account is great. And my videos would be like, I remember before I changed to Cigar Ritual, I had a friend look to see if it was the same as with me. And you had to press next 3 times to get my first video. I was like, my name. And then I changed it to my name, to Lisardo Vivas. And I ranked. So I was like, so the name, I got to change that name because it's not ranking. Since I changed it, it has improved the channel a bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, so you, how long have you been in Wales? Like, because Wales is a weird one, because there's obviously yourself, who's got a massive following in the cigar industry, and there's James Du from Cigar Shack.
Yeah.
2 massive guys on Instagram, both from we're literally 40 minutes away from each other in Wales, and Wales is the worst for smoking cigars because it's banned everywhere.
Well, there's only one cigar shop, which is down there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right? I mean, is it the Bear down there?
The Bear shop.
Yeah.
Havana House, though.
Yeah, Havana House have taken over that, haven't they? But I think past that, there's one in Newport.
Yeah, the Manor House.
There's one in Aberystwyth. Yes. There's none in Swansea.
No.
None.
And obviously, there's nothing about like lounges or anything like that. We're lucky here because they've built the terrace. We're actually in Matisse, in obviously in Cardiff, close to the train station and everything. Downstairs, it's a beautiful restaurant, Le Monde, and they built this cigar lounge club. They held private events, and we're using this facility.
I mean, it's so good that we can have this, because I mean, it is raining right now.
Yeah.
You probably hear in the video, it's raining. I'm dry, I'm warm, happy days, and I'm smoking a cigar
in
Wales. So
this is the only place that I know where we could meet up and, you know, with a couple of friends and stuff, because otherwise it's nowhere.
No, unless I can get the van and park it somewhere. We're not smoking together unless it's in one of the houses. But even with the houses, I mean,
yeah,
I'm currently building a cigar cabin in my backyard.
Nice.
And I can't wait for that. But at the same time, it's like,
it's cold.
Realistic. To be fair, I'm going to make that one. It's going to have a log burner. It's going to be lovely. But
that's nice.
How many people come to Swansea?
Yeah.
So it'll just be for
and
me.
It's a bit awkward because when it's in your house, fine, you'll have your friends. But then to do like YouTube and stuff, it's a bit weird getting people coming in and out.
It's going to be like a good like reviewing sort of studio, but podcast-wise, I'll keep to the van. But things like this, I mean, this place, I was sat downstairs at the bar earlier.
No, they're amazing.
Absolutely.
They're amazing. They own a few restaurants, but this is the first one that they actually got a humidor. I don't know if you saw it.
I noticed that on the way.
Yeah, so I supplied them with some of the cigars, the non-Cuban cigars I supplied them with. And, you know, They do all right. Obviously, today is dead. Town is dead. Not just here, like everywhere is dead.
I mean, they open up here 3 days a week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, if they can do that for 3 days a week and then they got the restaurant downstairs.
Oh no, they're doing all right, man.
That
They're doing all
restaurant,
right.
I was
They're doing
sat
all
at
right.
the bar and I was just smelling. I was like,
If you come in on the weekend,
yeah,
the restaurant is packed, packed. Sometimes we want to stay, like have a meal, and they'll get it like, would you mind sitting next to the toilet? Would you mind sitting? Like, we'll put you at a table. I know you. We'll put you somewhere, but just like, do you mind where we put you? I'm like, oh, it's cool, man.
Yeah. I was sat down there earlier and I just messaged my wife and I was like, we need to come here because she's obsessed with like
the food
seafood and things like that. And I was like, we need to come here and I just need you to get to eat this food because it smells amazing down there.
They have a similar setup in Bridgend.
Okay.
So if it's closer to you, they have that one there. But this one here, I love here. They got another one in Penarth, which again, there's 2 restaurants there, really nice as well. But yeah, so this is the only place where I thought, we could do this, because otherwise the van is not bad. I think the idea is really good.
The van's great.
It's a very unique point.
It's one of those like, so I usually do it if I'm meeting someone, I'll pick them up and I'll go into the mountains somewhere. But it's when there's time, and obviously this time of the year it's pitch black.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like getting into a van with a stranger. So
into the mountains.
Yeah.
In Wales.
There's a running joke along a lot of people, and they're like, yeah, he gets people in that van with free cigars and they never come out. It works.
He's on video.
But no, I mean, this place is honestly stunning, and thank you for sorting this out, because I just sat here just enjoying a cigar.
It's nice. It's nice
in the warm. I don't care if it's raining. Like,
well, it doesn't. It does, and I think they want to extend it a bit as well. Or they want to have a roof that the slats. Oh, I think this one. Was it this one? I know they wanted one that could open the slats. Okay, yeah. So when it's not raining and raining
That's
and stuff.
Pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
But no, it's quite cool, man.
So what got you into cigars then? Has it been a lifelong sort of thing, or is it just one day you sort of stumble across them?
Well, I've never smoked cigarettes or anything. Yeah, I was very say like worried. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to get addicted.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I don't want to get addicted. Plus, I didn't see it as a nice thing. But in cigars, although it was smoking, it's different. You sit and you relax and you chill. So I didn't get it at the beginning. And I had the opportunity once. I turned it down. And then after my first kid was born, and, before I used to have a lot of spare time with my wife and I do my thing, she does her thing, and we had time.
Yeah.
But then since the kid came on, I was like, there's no time. We're always doing this and that, and I just became... So I was having a conversation with a friend that smokes cigars, and he's like, dude, you just need a cigar, man. Because I don't like drink, I don't have any vices or anything. And he's like, why don't you just smoke a cigar? I'm like, I don't want to smoke, and this and this. Like, look, you're not going to get addicted. Anyway, he walked me through it. And I did a lot of research. I was like, addiction. No, it's not a chance. Okay, cool. So he told me to get a couple of cigars, but I didn't. At that time, I didn't. I was going to buy it online, and I felt like, can I leave it? Then one day we were in London, and I was walking past Davidoff.
Okay, yeah? Nice, yeah.
And with my wife and the kid and this and that, and I was like, you know what? Let me. Like, I'm here. I might as well in there.
When you're in London, you gotta...
I might as well. So I just walked in and I was like, I would like to buy some cigars. And it turns out, because I didn't know, I wasn't involved in anything. It was Edward Zahakian.
Oh, amazing.
But the dad.
Oh, okay.
Not Eddie, Edward. And oh my God, that was like the best experience, man. He's like, so you haven't smoked? No. And he just went through it, like, what do you like to drink? And the whole thing. And he took me to the humidor. He explained cigars to me, how to cut, amazing. Customer said, like, I love the guy. Both of them, actually. I did an Instagram live with them during COVID and stuff, and really cool. So obviously, with his guidance, I didn't get it wrong. So he sold me a couple of cigars. Olio de Monterrey Piquio number 2 is like, start with that.
Yeah.
And then you see how you feel. Then you move up, and I don't remember the other ones. There was a Trinidad. There was a couple of cigars. I was thinking like 4 cigars. But the Olio Monterrey, I smoked it. And when I started, I was like, Okay, it's a bit boring.
Yeah.
But then my friend was like, "Look, stay with it, man. If you're not feeling bad or anything, just stay with it." And then halfway through, I was like, "Oh, now
Yeah.
I get it."
Just a light bulb goes off your head.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
like, oh, now I get it. And we did a Zoom call and we were talking and stuff, and he was smoking a cigar, and then suddenly I just clocked on. I was like, this is why. So it's like so cool and it's relaxing, and we talk and we pass the
Yeah.
time, and I just got hooked, man.
I
I
bet.
got hooked.
I mean, it's very, very similar to me in a way. I smoked my first cigar, kind of like everyone else in the industry who, they're 14 years old, their friend robs a cigar from their dad. You smoke your first one, you're like, oh yeah, it's a big cigar, I'm a big man. Didn't smoke another one then until I was 18. Bought my first, it was a Romeo and Juliet from my local one in Aberystwyth. And, I loved it. But I was like, this is going to cost me a lot of money. Like I've got such a obsessive mind.
The hobby is expensive.
So I was like, right, I am not smoking. I was never great at money when I was younger, but I was like, right, I'm not smoking a cigar until I'm financially stable. Got into bought my house, happy days. And I was like, right, people pay the mortgage. I'm going to treat myself to a cigar. And as soon as I did that, that was it was a H. Upman. Oh, I always forget it. Majestic, is it? No. I can't remember which one. It was a H. Upman though. And
nice.
It was okay. It wasn't as good as the Romeo and Juliet because I just remember that being amazing.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it, and I just sat on my own, smoked a cigar, and it was just peaceful.
Yeah.
And then I started smoking cigars with friends, and that's when I really.
That's when you get hooked.
Yeah, because you get the flavors, and with the people I surrounded myself in, they're just amazing people, and their love for cigars is amazing, and it just kicked off me massively. And then I started my Instagram page, and it all went from there. Then,
yeah.
Really. So,
yeah, I think that's what happened, because similar thing. So you asked me earlier how long I've been in Wales. I've been in Wales for 26 years.
Okay.
But yeah, with the cigars, man, it's like I tried it, and then you meet somebody else, and then I started this daily cigar page.
Yeah.
And I was posting my pictures, and people were reposting, and I reposted, and it just grew, and then you get more involved, and as it grew, I also got involved in the industry. So obviously I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And it was quite easy to go to Simon and like, oh my God, your cigar looks great. What a blend is that, this and that. And then I started to get connections with the actual owners or the actual blenders and things like this. And then, I don't know, one thing led to the other one. Then we opened Toro Puro for the first time to bring the cigars, like I said. And now it's like, I think I'm more known on that side of the world.
Yeah, okay.
With the manufacturers and stuff than here.
Okay.
Because here, unless I go to London and people are like, oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I know you. But over there, it's like, I went to Dortmund. Did you go to Intertabak?
No, that is on my list to go to. Yeah, I would love to.
You gotta go, man.
Yeah.
But I went there, and like, of course, you got people on Instagram and WhatsApp and stuff, and you talk to them. But when I went there, it's like, I didn't know people actually knew me. I was just walking around like, Lisardo. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this girl? Who is this? Come here. You remember me? We spoke.
Yeah.
But I think it's because obviously I speak Spanish, and they find it weird that I'm a Latino living in Wales. In London, there's a lot of them. But here is like, there's just the one.
Yeah, I was going to say,
cigars, just the one.
So obviously, being Latino and being in the cigar industry, that's why I just never assumed you'd be in like the Cardiff area, because when we were talking, you were in Cardiff. I was like, really?
Yeah, no, I've been here, like I said, man, I've been here for so long, man.
Yeah, but it's just it's how I've met a lot of people.
I lived in London.
Okay, yeah.
But we didn't like it, so we came to Cardiff, and we like Cardiff.
Honestly, I'm so proud to be Welsh. I love being Welsh.
That's nice. My boys are Welsh.
Yeah, and that I've got nothing wrong with Wales apart from our smoking laws.
Yeah,
that is the only thing.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, like you said, you don't smoke cigarettes. You don't like. I used to smoke cigarettes, and I hate them though. I absolutely despise them. Since smoking cigars, cannot be around cigarettes. I think it's just when you're around such a pure leaf, and then you can instantly smell the chemicals.
That was my issue.
Yeah.
The addiction and the chemicals.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if you're gonna put like wine, I was drinking wine or whatever. Like I know it's good wine, obviously. Like you're drinking proper, just like one ingredient, two ingredients. But cigarettes, like I looked at the list, like how can like where's the tobacco in here? And something that I hate about the law is that they qualify that product as a tobacco product, and we getting penalized. This is a tobacco product.
Yeah.
The other one is not a tobacco product.
I mean, it's like, what, 300 chemicals in a single cigarette, something like that, and it is insane. I mean, obviously the UK in general, for our tax and everything is ridiculous. And especially, if I ordered a box over from, I don't know, America or something like that, they'll weigh the box as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm paying for wood now.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with the smoking industry, well, the smoking community in the UK, we will pay it. Like, it is what it is. But we just wish we could get cigars the price that you can in America and things like that.
I think now with social media, one of the things that I plan to do when the channel grows and stuff and better community is I think the cigar community in the UK needs a voice.
Yeah.
Not against the government, but like, towards the government to explain our points. Because you gotta pay duty, you gotta pay tax, you gotta pay them. That's fine. But my issue with penalizing cigars because of cigarettes, I don't agree. And the duty and the way that they just weigh the box with, I had one, from Miami. Somebody sent me a package, I think it's like 4 or 5 cigars. But it was a friend to a friend, so it wasn't a business.
Yeah.
So they didn't know how to pack it, so they really packed it. Yeah? And I don't know, man, it was heavy. And these custom people, you just put it on, and like £400 bill. Like, listen, £100 a cigar. Listen, there's 4 cigars. Open it up, and you'll see.
Yeah.
Oh no, we cannot open it. They'll make up excuses and stuff, and that. And I pay them because I really wanted the cigars, and it was a friend, and they went out the way and to get them and stuff. But then I took pictures, and then you have to go back to them and stuff. Eventually, we worked something out.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have to go through that. And I understand that maybe that is a way of stopping people. Like, I have a shop now. I don't want people buying from the US or Spain because it's cheaper. I get it. But as a consumer as well, I think you should have the freedom to buy whatever you want to buy.
Yeah, I mean, I completely get,
Just pay your taxes, the fair taxes, and then...
And that's the thing. I've got no qualms paying tax on cigars. Like, I completely get it. I mean, it's a great way for our country to thrive at the end of the day. If we didn't pay taxes, then, it would just go to pot. So I completely understand paying taxes. And, I don't mind spending 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds on a cigar because I love it. But it's those people, they're trying to stop getting into it. And they're just like, well, they're not going to spend £60 on a cigar. They're not really having days. But it's like with the smoking ban they tried to bring in with the age anyone under, was it 2009?
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Or anyone over 2009 even. And they're just trying to no smoking for you. And I get it with cigarettes.
Yeah, exactly. Or vaping and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know how that's going to work because we can see what happened with alcohol in the US. And I think something like that could happen. Because there's always going to be an illegal market.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, I'm not an expert on this, but I think it would be better to buy a box of Marlboro Light or Marlboro whatever than buying some knockoff made in China or in a shed somewhere.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're going to be smoking and people are going to stop dying.
Yeah.
But these are I don't know. Again, I think because in America they have a couple of societies and the industry is big and the consumers, there's a lot of consumers, so they'll have a voice against the government. But here everybody's like kind of quiet. Only a couple of...
Britain's such a weird place where like we will go under the thumb until it's too late and then we'll just kick off. It goes from 0 to 100.
Yeah. Coming from Venezuela, I was like, damn. At the beginning, I was like, how can you accept this? How? This is why my country is messed up, because we will complain about everything.
Yeah.
Buses go up, we complain. We complain. Everything we complain. Well, until now. Now we got a different president, we can't complain anymore. But when there was a democracy, people used to complain.
I was saying to you, I think just before we started recording, through my work, we have the worst coffee in the world. So I'm so happy I can sit here with a cigar.
Where do you get those Nescafe?
It's not even that good. It's like Aldi's own brand, just like bottom of the shelf, like not even the good Aldi stuff. But no, it's so nice. And honestly, this cigar, and is this classed as a full body cigar? Or is this medium? Medium, yeah. I was going to say, it's not overpowering, but it's really good flavors.
That one.
Really, really nice flavors.
That one should, I don't know if you can pick it up, but that should have like a chocolate note. After the middle of the half temp should become a little bit more prominent.
Tastes so good, to be fair. That, even the retrohale, not
light.
It's really light.
This one is, I'm doing the same,
Yeah.
The fermentation is really good, the way they do it. And this is why I decided to bring them, because my other idea with the shop was at the beginning, and still my idea is there's a lot of brands like these ones that are small brands, boutique brands, and I understand that the distribution in the UK cannot bring every cigar in the world, loads, but there are few cigars that you're like, okay, that's different, or that's special, or that's and I want to do that. So that's why the Colombos, which is made in the Canary Islands, and this one, which is not this one, the Andullo, which is made by the original traditional Taino Indians fermentation way.
I really like that.
And it gives a profile, a different taste as well. So that was my idea. But yeah, these cigars I really like.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that's the Columbus I smoked of yours. That was, the flavor in that was so different to everything else. I think it was, obviously the Spanish leaf in there as well. And that's why I love New Worlds, because I like Cubans. I really.
We all started with Cubans. I think
everyone loves a Cuban. That's the first thing you hear when you think cigars. You think Cuban until you're obviously into cigars, really. And then when I started smoking New Worlds, I just love it. The way I compare it is Cubans are iPhones and New Worlds are Android. Because there's so much things you can do with a New World cigar. Because you can have a bit from Nicaragua, a bit from Honduras, a bit from Indonesia, whatever it is. It creates some phenomenal cigars. But it can create some not so good cigars. But when you know what you're looking for, it's so vast.
I mean, like you said, there's so vast. There's so many brands and so many profiles, and there will be some cigars that you think like, oh, this is not nice, but then it's not made for you.
Exactly.
Which I realized, like, oh man, your cigars are. I said to a friend, he's like, why do you sell my cigars? I'm like, dude, I don't like your cigars.
Yeah.
That's why I don't sell your cigars. And then I thought it was, this is the beginning. Yeah. I used to think like, oh, his cigars are crap.
Yeah.
He doesn't make a good cigar. But then in the US, people love them.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so the cigar is not crap. My palate is not for that cigar. Or that cigar is not for my palate.
I had the exact same experience. I'm going to name the cigar because it's my opinion. The Rocky Patel Cedar Smoke. I despise it. I've tried it a couple of times just because I was like, it's a nicely priced cigar. I'll see if I can get my palate to enjoy it. And I tried it twice. I was like, no, it's horrible. But everyone I speak to love it. And I was like, okay.
and that's something I found out when speaking to like the blenders and stuff. And they're like, listen, as you notice, a brand will have different blends, different sizes, and it's all to do with different profile, different customers.
Yeah.
Some people like, because at the beginning I used to think, okay, you either like medium, light, or full.
Yeah.
That's your range. That's all you got to find in here. But then when I speak to these guys, they're like, no. There's more than that. There's more than that. There's spiciness. There's this and that. Some people like really spicy cigars. Some people like high nicotine cigars with no flavor. Just get a hit of nicotine. Other ones love flavor. I love flavor, not so much the nicotine.
Okay, yeah. I suppose as someone who doesn't smoke for the nicotine as well, like obviously you don't smoke cigarettes or anything like that, the nicotine is not an issue.
I mean, it is nice because it doesn't mellow you down. It is nice, the feeling.
Yeah.
But it's not what I chase in the cigar. I want flavors. I want to be entertained and or chocolate or nuts or you get surprised or something.
I think that's what sort of newer people in the cigar world struggle with as well, because obviously you've got to develop that palate so much, and they're just like, well, I'm not getting any of that. Why aren't I getting that? But obviously, the more cigars I spoke to someone about this the other day. Is if you just buy one cigar and you're like, this is the cigar brand I like, you're never going to develop your palate. You're going to develop it for that one cigar, but not all these other cigars. Yeah. And again, that's why I've bought maybe 2 boxes in my life. and I still have some in my humidor because I just love exploring. And you know, it's a great way to develop that palate and get those different notes.
Yeah, that's also how I done it. But again, speaking to the blenders and stuff, they're like, listen, whenever you go to like a spice market or something, smell everything.
Yeah.
Try everything. You go to a restaurant, you go sushi, try everything you can try. You go to different cuisines, just try drinks, try everything.
Yeah.
Because that, not just the smoking of the cigars, try food in general, try drinks in general, experience
100%.
spices and all of this. Because you could be, for example, I was watching an interview with Manolo from Casa 1910.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A Mexican brand. And he was talking about something similar. And he's like, listen, I could describe this note, as an example, this note that I pick up here as a so-and-so chili.
Yeah.
To another Mexican friend. But if I come to Europe, to Spain, he was in Spain, and if I mention the chili, you are not gonna get that note. Like you'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about, because you can't compare it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah? But if he knew the note of a food in Spain, then you'll be able to like, okay, so it is that one. So that's what the guys used to say to me, like, just try as much as you can, smell the notes, different coffee from different areas, whiskeys and stuff, and smoke cigars from everywhere.
Yeah, I mean,
everywhere.
One cigar that stands out for me, that the flavor is so different. I mean, yeah, it is the one cigar that stands out completely for me. And it's weird because I don't like shorter cigars. I'm not a Panatella person, but the Trident Petit Panatella.
Okay.
It's got this. It's a La Bomba leaf.
Okay.
Changes the cigar completely because it's pretty much the same blend as their other cigars, but they just added this La Bomba leaf.
I haven't tried that one.
I should have brought it for you. I got a couple at home. I will send one up to you because
I gotta try.
Phenomenal.
I that's my thing. I like different.
Yeah.
Like knowledge is lit. No, I want it different.
Yeah, because that I could just be smoking it, and I was at the at an event with them, and I was smoking the cigars, and we had a few of the Bren, which is their Robusto.
Okay.
And I was smoking it. I was like, this is phenomenal. And he gave me the Petit Panatella, and I was like, this is whoa. I was like, this is phenomenal. Not that I don't like smaller cigars. I just enjoy a longer smoke. But I was smoking this. I was like, I need to get a tin of these because they come in like tins of 5.
Oh, nice.
And I needed a tin of these. Nice. And to be fair, they sent me back with one. But honestly, that cigar it just holds dear to my heart. And I think everyone's got that one cigar where they just smoke and they're just like,
definitely.
But if I smoked that every day, I would lose that love for it. So I just love having once every maybe a month.
It's like with me with the Anduja, for example, and the Columbus. Because obviously on Instagram I post different cigars, and the guys were like, "Look, why don't you post your cigars?" I'm like, dude, because if I smoke my cigar every day, it'd be boring. Like now when I smoke Nicaraguan, Dominican, Cubans, and then I jump to the Canary Island one, like, oh, this is different again. Like, okay, I remember this. But if you smoke it all the time,
yeah, because I found that with the Columbus is that it was so different. That the flavor I was getting from that was just so different. And I was looking through the list on your website of just what the wrapper binder and all that was, and it's just such a nice mix.
Yeah.
And for a cigar that price as well, I'm just like, that's such a great mix.
Yeah.
For because a lot of beginners, I smoked the was it the Connecticut, wasn't it?
The Connecticut.
Yeah, and that'd be a great beginner cigar.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that Maduro now as well. I do love Maduro.
The Maduro is nice. It's a bit stronger. Again, the fermentation is nice. And they kept it very simple because the as you can see, the band is very simple and stuff. They were like, we want to surprise people with the notes.
Yeah.
And because when I looked at it, I was like, come on, man, like put a bit more effort in it. And then it's like, that's what we want. We want people to be like, oh, it's not a big deal. And then you try it and you fall in love. And then, you end up distributing the brand.
Yeah,
because I mean, you liked it.
It's a tough one because obviously people shop with their eyes. So when they see like the presentation like on this, you look at that and you go, that is high quality.
The thing with the Columbus one is a very boutique, very small.
Yeah, the people who know about them know about them, isn't it?
So in Spain, only a few shops got it. And they have it in the Middle East. They got it in Asia. I think they got it in US. But again, it's like friends of friends of friends. And then you have a shop and then that's how. because in the Canary Islands, the factories are quite small as well. So they cannot produce 10,000, 15,000 cigars.
Yeah. I was going to say, because another brand that I love how they mix and blend their different cigars is Herman Solomon. Their cigars and the way they blend that. I mean, you go from Indonesia, Honduras, whatever they use, and it's always different every stick, and I love that. Because a lot of sticks I found, they might just change one layer of the cigar, and they'll just call it something completely different.
And it was quite cool because, well, I met them, and I know them for a while now. And the way they started was just, again, a cigar for the Masons, for a couple of friends, and then for a charity event, I think it was, and then it became. So it's good when you're, when you're outside and you jump into an industry, because you experiment. You come with, maybe you don't know what you're doing, and it could be good, or maybe you come with different eyes, and then you create different things.
I mean,
then when you are a brand that has been making cigars for 20, 30 years, you stick to what works.
I always find with anything, it's a sort of philosophy I live by in life. Is if I'm the most experienced man in the room, I will always go to the most unexperienced man in the room, because they will think outside the box. So it's the same with cigars, wines, because it's almost like there's a set of rules you have to follow, and someone who doesn't know the rules will just be like, "No, let's just do this," and it's a great way to try it.
Let's try.
It might not turn out right. It might turn out to be the best thing ever. So I always live by the rule: if I'm the most experienced man in the room, I'm going to the least experienced, and I will try and pick their brains a little bit.
No, it's nice. It's nice. But yeah, they did an amazing work with the brand. I think when they started, when I met them, I think it was like 3 cigars they had only.
Oh, really?
3, 4 cigars, I think it was. It wasn't much. And then I saw them in Dortmund, and they have a lot of cigars now.
So Dortmund and the tobacco, I would love to go to that, because that is, it's one of those, if you love cigars, that'll be heaven, isn't it?
And it's weird, because I used to think, I've been to other expos. Or maybe because I know the people there, it was different. But I've been to other expos and basically shoving products or advertising.
Nothing but selling,
But I think it's the cigar industry in general. They're like, come here, sit down, let's have a conversation. And they tell you the story and the new blend that's coming. And then you go somewhere else and the same thing. And it's like, you're all friends. You're all just chilling, trying. And then, business are made, like big business. No, not with me, unfortunately. Hopefully soon. But I was there. Some people move a lot of cigars. But it is really cool. It was really chilled, and of course, like I had a couple of interviews and stuff, and you are on your diary, and everybody's like doing what they gotta do. But it wasn't like I went to a fitness expo in Birmingham, way when I was fit, a long time ago, and it's like everybody's like chucking stuff and advertising and buy this is the best protein, and this is the best protein, and try this pre-workout, and you weren't able to speak to nobody. They just go a couple of people there, and I've been to other ones, and it's the same thing. But here they have their brand owner, the master blenders are there, people who know, and you can pick the brain, and they're happy to help you understand things. I found really, really cool.
I mean, I've experienced that, and even just in sales when I used to work in like retail and things like that. You'd be talking to a customer, really in-depth conversation about whatever the product was, and you just get a genuine connection, and that they will want to buy then. But then you get your manager over the corner, why are you spending so much time with this person? These people need to be sold to. It's like, they're not getting the full experience then, though, isn't it? And I think with cigars, because if you're not passionate about cigars, there's no point being in the industry. Because everyone else is so passionate that they will just overtake you because they have genuine love for it.
Definitely.
And if you're just going to be like, all right, here's a stick, go away. Okay, I'm not. But then I find if you build a genuine connection with cigars, you will always remember that. And cigars are the one thing that almost give me like a, I don't want to say a hallucination, because I could smell a cigar and instantly, vividly remember an exact situation that smell has brought me. And it's almost like you're not hallucinating, but it's almost like that.
No, they do create connections to moments in time. I've had I had a couple. I had a really funny one. I don't remember the cigar though, but I go on holiday to Madeira a lot. Yeah, my dad is from Madeira, and it's a volcanic island. So basically, anywhere you stand, you get a sea breeze.
Yeah.
Kind of. And I remember I was smoking a cigar there. It was one of the first cigars that I had. I smoked the cigar, and not a big deal. The cigar wasn't, just a smoke.
Yeah.
And then here in Cardiff, funny, I had the window in the office where I do all the videos. I had the window little, just cracked open a little bit, and obviously rainy and windy. And then suddenly I took a puff of this cigar, and it just took me back to being there with a nice weather. I was like, but by the time I clocked on, I forgot. I kept thinking about that moment.
Yeah.
I forgot to think about the cigar, and then I had to go and
it's such a.
But it was.
It's so weird to explain to people how what that feels like, because I've had it where I haven't even been smoking the cigar. I've just smelt the wrapper, and I'm just like, whoa.
But those are connections that your brain make. It's like, for example, has it never happened to you when somebody walks past you, a lady, for example, walks past you, and has a perfume like your mom, grandmother, or something, and you remember that person?
Yeah,
it's the same. So it's that's what's creating those.
Yeah, so I never thought about it like that, actually. Yeah,
because that happens to me a lot. Like, oh, that's my grandma. Oh, that's someone. That's
like when
my
you
friend.
smell like a certain food, and you just instantly you can think of like your grandmother's cooking or something like that, isn't it? Yeah, that's so true, actually.
With me, it's more. It happens a lot with the perfumes.
Yeah,
perfumes. And with cigars, obviously, use.
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is, like, because I've had a lot of times where it's almost brought me back to my childhood, but no one in my family smokes cigars. So it must be a note in there that is instantly taking me back to my childhood.
Leather, maybe it's leather, maybe the coffee or something.
Yeah, and it's just such a wild experience. I think that's one of the things I love about cigars, because it brings you so much joy in that sense, and you're just like, whoa. How I completely forgot about that.
and it's really weird, because at the end of the day, like, I've been to the factories and stuff, and I've seen them make the cigar, and it's just a bunch of leaves, man. It's just a bunch of leaves they put together. But when you smoke them, and I think what happens is that's why I named the channel Cigar Ritual, is the ritual that creates that moment in your mind. Because yes, the cigars are obviously special and they have different notes and stuff, but it's like us here, you came here, you enjoy the place, you enjoy the conversation, then we remember the moment as much as the cigar, but the cigar is like the connecting piece.
Yeah, I think that's how because my palate is not as defined as yours, I would assume.
No, my palate. My palate needs work, man.
But it's like you said, it's those connecting points where I could be smoking this cigar in 6 months, a year, or something like that, and I'll just instantly I'll be brought back to here, and then I'll have to go back and watch the podcast and be like, that was a good time.
But yeah, I think is not that I think, I was told, basically, because I did ask that question. I was like, listen, it's just a bunch of leaves. Why do we like it so much? And he's like, this is the ritual.
Yeah,
it's the ritual. If you're at home, you open your humidor, you select your cigar, your mind starts to wind down, and you're enjoying the whole process. Whether a cigarette, you're rushing to get out, spark up a cigar, and then you're thinking a cigarette, then you're thinking about whatever, and you got to go back, and you're rushing all the time. It's different.
Yeah.
And here you sit with friends, you have conversations, or you had a stressful day, then you have an amazing cigar. That's an amazing moment, like amazing situation you're in, or an anniversary, something special.
Yeah.
Always marks something special.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are the things that I think makes it more special than what it is. Because I actually think, I know I just said this is a bunch of leaves. I actually enjoy cigars a lot. But when you look at it as a outsider, for example, because it was the first time in a factory, I was like, I've seen videos, but when you look at it, I was like, what makes, like, I came all the way from UK just to see this guy just roll up leaves. But they're so good though. But they're so good.
It's like with the Columbus I smoked the other day. I was in my garden. It was the first sunny day of the year. Like in Wales.
We all remember those.
Yeah, we remember those. But my wife was she started to grow like different vegetables. So she was planting all of her tomatoes, cucumbers, all this.
She started planting, yeah.
Yeah. So she's growing them all. I got her. I'll tell you the story after. But I got a greenhouse. It's gone down, but she's got a little one now.
What she's doing in the greenhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I plant tomatoes and stuff as well.
Yeah,
I got a tobacco plant.
Is it?
Yeah, I got a
I would
little
love
tiny
to
tobacco.
smoke a cigar that's got, like, obviously we can't commercially sell it, but I'd love to just grow a bit of tobacco to roll into a cigar from Britain.
So that's my idea, because the owner of this brand had some Connecticut plants, tiny plants in Spain, growing them. And I went to visit him, and he's like, "Look, take a plant to the UK, see if it works." So we have tobacco growing in Cardiff, in a pot, but it's in Cardiff.
But yeah, no. So I was sat there in the garden, first sunny day of the year. The wife's over there planting. I'm just sat there enjoying my cigar, and I will always remember just those little moments. I appreciate my wife just enjoying herself planting, and I'm sat there. Even little things like we got this sofa beaten up. We're doing it up. I say we were doing it up. She was doing it up while I'm smoking a cigar. But it's just little. Even though my wife cannot stand cigars, she hates the smell. She hates the smoke. She doesn't like them. But she loves that I enjoy them. So I'm still able to enjoy them with my wife, which is lovely.
Nice. Yeah, my wife. Well, she doesn't enjoy them herself. She doesn't mind them. She doesn't mind the smoke and stuff. Obviously, not inside the house. Yeah. Or when she opens the office, she's like, "Oh my god, how do you deal with this?" But she, again, she's supportive. Like, you like this.
This is why she's letting me build a cabin in the garden. She's like, smoke all you want in there.
Similar to my wife.
Yeah.
my office was like my smoking room.
Yeah, that's the best way to be. I mean, to be fair, with the air purifiers, they're pretty good at what they do.
Yeah,
like especially for like if you've got the covers for underneath the door and everything, it contains it pretty well.
It does, but I because at the beginning that's what I had, because we have a conservatory where the tobacco plant is.
Yeah,
it's not outside either. It won't survive. And I used to smoke in the conservatory. So obviously, they're properly sealed.
Yeah.
And I had a what do you call it, a purifier thing. But then I realized you need the fresh air.
Yeah.
So I used to crack a window open, and then it messes up with the smoke, and the thing kicks on really fast. So that's why I decided, the cabin, and then I don't use it as much anymore, because I open a window where I'm smoking, and I got a fan.
Yeah.
Pushes it out, and then you get fresh air. I enjoy it a lot more, because you end up breathing the smoke, and
I get that. It does get quite stuffy in that, like, especially if you've got like a very open space
or a very strong purifier.
With Toro Puro, then, how have you found, obviously, sort of bringing that back around? Then, has it been a good experience, a stressful experience, or are you just sort of taking it every day as it comes?
Well, at the moment, it is my side business, like I said. Yeah. So I have my own business where I eat from.
Yeah.
I want this to be my future business, but because it's not the main one at the moment, it's not stressful.
Yeah.
It's a bit fun, and I'm learning, and I'm asking questions, and people are helpful, and so it's been fun.
Yeah.
I understand that if obviously there's a lot of money invested, and that's a bit of stress. You want to sell, but it's cool, man. It's a nice experience.
I was going to say,
learn a lot, and learn a lot.
I've got to say, with your website, obviously there's a lot of tobacconists out there, and they knock up a website and it looks crap. Let's face it, there's a lot of them out there.
No comment.
But I do not trust a website that doesn't look great. And you go onto your website, and from day one, it has looked so professional. And honestly, as soon as, obviously, I've spoken to you about your packaging as well, and the way you package, the way you say promote your products, but you've done it really, really well.
Thanks, man.
And I'm not just blowing smoke up with it.
Thank you.
No, I love the website. The look of it is phenomenal, and you've got something there for everyone, because you've got some really, sort of higher end cigars. You look at a couple, 100, 200 pounds, but you've still got the quite a lot of the cigars, £10. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of them for £8, isn't there? And you've got something for everyone, which is great, because a lot of people will go in thinking, I'm going to be a baller, I'm going to get the big cigars in, So I think it's really good that you're getting something for everyone. And even you've got a lot of other things that aren't cigar related as well. Like you got the bar section, which I really like, and you got a few of the different whiskey glasses and things like that. Your lighter selection is phenomenal. I look at that and I'm like, oh, one day.
Yeah. So thank you. because I built the website.
You did it all.
I did it all.
Nice.
I had a designer help with the logo and the colors and stuff. I wanted a special look. I couldn't get it myself, so I had a friend actually from Cardiff. He works with like big brands, and he loves cigars as well. And he's like, dude, I hope you are. So
I'll give you a free cigar if you
a free cigar. It was more than a free cigar, man. But no, he's a really cool guy. And yeah, the sign, because obviously I come as a consumer. I was a consumer first. I'm still a consumer. I still buy. And those websites, man, they're like, I know what I want. I know what I like, and I find it hard to find what I want in those websites. Yeah. But I also understand, for example, the large websites in the UK, they also have distribution behind us, so they have a very big range.
Yeah.
And you got to put it out there, man. You can't just, like with me, I only have a selection compared to these guys. So obviously the menus are smaller, this is tidier, but I also wanted to give it that new look, like a more modern look and styling. And to me, cigars, although we have cigars for £10 and accessories for £10 or £8, whatever, it is a luxury product, because the moment, even you just dressed up for this and everything. Sorry, man.
This is the best dress I've ever been on this.
This is me. This is me. You see me everywhere like this. But yeah, to me, it's a luxury product. Although I don't like to wear suits and stuff, it is, what I feel every time I smoke a cigar. And I wanted to give the customer, from the moment they land on my website to the moment they open the package, an experience. Obviously, I don't have my own brand of cigars, so my brand is the shop.
Yeah.
Okay, the shop, and I want to give the best service and the best experience as possible.
Yeah.
This is why I designed the website as it is, clean, easy to find stuff. So, like when I see it on my mind, it's like I know what I'm doing. So when you told me, like, I'm happy, I'm happy I did get it across, because in my mind it's like, okay, I find everything because I built it. I know what everything is.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of friends, and every feedback, I think I said to you, like, whatever, like, feedback, please give it to me, because you might find it difficult to navigate and stuff. But my idea was easy to navigate, very clear beginner cigars, because a lot of people are just starting or whatever, and then a wide range accessories. I also want to build Toro Puro not just as a cigar shop. I would like to build it as a lifestyle, cigar lifestyle. So everything surrounding cigars, which include the bars, even the wardrobe. I have a wardrobe.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, where you can get a backpack, you can get leather wallets, everything a gentleman would use. You'll be able to find there, and that's my idea. It's not just cigars.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I want the experience, because what I really hated was, like, you end up spending 120, 150 pounds in cigars, and they arrive at home like you bought them from China.
I had this conversation with someone.
I was like, dude, I just spent 150 pounds and you send them like is it Timu?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, like, cause someone commented on one of my videos before, and they were, because I was praising your packaging, and they were like, oh, well, why do you care about the packaging, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, because if I spent that much money on cigars and it came wrapped in duct tape and it was just like thrown together, I'd be a bit like, I don't know if I trust these guys to have put them in a humidor to have treated them right. But if it comes properly, the packaging, the way that you have, obviously it promotes your brand as well. But if it looks good visually, then I'm going to know, all right, these guys look after their cigars. These guys know what they're doing, instead of just someone just lobbing a load of newspaper into a box, duct taping it loads, and you're just like, there you go, enjoy. Thanks for the 200 quid.
Exactly. but to me, it's obviously the way that I've set up the humidor and stuff to take care of the cigars is again the most important thing for me. Is that I don't care about you have an amazing website and the cigars are crap. No, so that is the main thing, and it all comes to the point of, I want the customer to get the money's worth, to get a good experience, because I am a customer myself. Like, that was my example. I spent 950 pounds and it comes like it was shipped from China.
Yeah.
Then you don't know about the cigar. You try the cigars, and it ruins the experience. Now when you get it, you buy a Louis Vuitton thing, or you'll buy from Mr. Porter, or you buy from a luxury brand, which cigars are luxury, you get the whole experience. Although the paper box is going to go in the bin, and all the packaging goes in the bin, it's all to do with experience. With the pouches, what I did want was, I wanted them different.
What material are they? Because they feel
the plastic.
They feel really
They're
high
plastic,
quality.
but they're high quality, and they have the texture outside, which I really love.
I think it's the texture that got me, because I was like, it almost feels like a really high quality sort of, I don't want to say paper, but it's sort of that. It doesn't feel just like a plastic bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the texture, obviously not this cigar, but some cigars have a similar texture. Okay. Some wrapper leaves are a bit rough.
Yeah.
And the first time, because obviously I had a good selection to choose from, and I had like smooth and soft, and there was one that I really liked, which had like I don't know, man. It felt like, when you put powder on glass and it's like really smooth and stuff.
Yeah.
That was really luxurious. But then I grabbed this one, which I was avoiding. I was leaving this one and then I grabbed it because it's not shiny or anything like that.
I really like that sort of.
And then I touched it. I was like, this feels natural. Feels like paper, like a leaf, like that. Yeah. And the same thing goes with the box. The box, I wanted to keep it craft. I wanted to keep it that color, because I had a couple of samples with it different in color, the whole box in color. And I think it loses that natural feel, which is all linked to the cigars, because you have, the wrap up, the rings, but then you have the natural leaf.
Yeah.
I wanted all of those sensory feelings involved. Again, it's to do with the experience, because I bought a luxury bag before, and I remember opening the stupid bag, or when you open an iPhone. Yeah, people do unboxings of iPhones, and people watch them. And it's going to go in the bin. Well, I keep the boxes, but they always go in the bin.
Yeah.
You don't do nothing with the box. But it's the way that they open, and it's all to do with the experience. You feel like you bought something good.
It's like even when you pull the tab, and it's was it Elevate the Experience, is it? Or
Elevate your moments.
Elevate the Moments, yeah. And you just open that up, and you're just like, that's a nice little message. Yeah. But I honestly, when you said about the bag there, I'm happy it wasn't just me, and I thought I was just getting a bit over tactile with things, because I was just feeling it. I was like, this feels really nice. And because you get a lot of the, like you say, it's just like the generic plastic bags, where maybe it's a boost pack or something like that.
And this one's sorry.
No, I was just going to say, but with that, it's just really tactile to feel. And I again, it's the trustworthiness of a brand, where if it comes in that, I know it's going to be looked after, because if you're going to put that much effort into your packaging, you're going to look after your cigars.
And it's expensive. Packaging is expensive. My thing with these bags as well is, sometimes you buy cigars and you don't have a travel humidor. Yeah? Because I thought about all the customers that I could have. I could obviously have a customer that smokes 2-3 cigars a week.
Yeah.
Or I could have somebody who buying them for a special event or a wedding or whatever. So I wanted them to look nice and feel nice, so that if you don't have your own cigar case to carry with you, I wanted them to be looking nice in a table. Yeah. You can carry them. You don't feel like it's a Ziploc bag and you just get 150 pounds worth of cigars in a
sandwich bag.
Sandwich bag. These ones, I've had friends take pictures with them in like BMWs and stuff, and it looks like it fits in. It's a plastic bag, but it doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
And so if somebody who buys the cigar doesn't have a humidor, with a humidity bag, you seal it up. It looks good. You keep your cigars there for a couple of weeks maybe, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, both of us, we smoke a fair amount of cigars.
For me, it's like...
You probably smoke a lot more than me, to be fair.
For us, it's useless, but other people need them.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to smoke... Depends. If I'm recording, obviously, you got to smoke a cigar then. But if I'm not recording any videos, I'm just smoking day to day, I'll probably smoke 3-4 a week.
Oh, you smoke a lot, man. I don't smoke that many.
Oh, okay. Don't tell my wife that. I told her I don't smoke that much.
I don't smoke that many, man. I even have started making videos without smoking, because I wasn't with me. With me and cigars is, I enjoy smoke.
Yeah. You don't want it to become a chore.
Yeah, man. And I was making every video, I was smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
And I'm tired, and it's late, and it's raining, and I got to keep the whole thing shut. I cannot turn on the purifier because it makes noise on the mic. So it just became horrible. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to be smoking every video. So when I feel like smoking, I smoke. And when I don't, I don't. But I don't know. Some days I'll have 3-4 cigars in a day. Some days I'll have nothing and maybe 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing. That's why I like cigars. Is again, we were talking about addiction and everything earlier. And my wife is very much like, I don't want you to get addicted. I don't want you to start smoking cigarettes again. And I was like, no, I could smoke. We could sit here, smoke 3-4 cigars, and then I could not have a cigar for 2-3 weeks, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. But if I get the right, and that's the one thing, I will not smoke a cigar just for the sake of it. If I'm in a situation where I haven't got that time to smoke it and enjoy it, or I'm busy doing other things, I like to sit there and relax. Enjoy. Where like if I'm, I don't know, mowing the lawn, I'm not going to just mow the lawn with a cigar in my mouth.
Yeah.
I get some people do, and some people get very good at it.
Yeah, well, there was my friend who got me, like, explained to me about cigars that I mentioned earlier. He loves doing a barbecue and smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
I've tried that, man. Not good for me. The smoke goes into my nose. The ash goes into the meat. Like, this is getting messy, man. And I'm not enjoying the barbecue, and I'm not enjoying the cigar. I think separate, because I like to wine and sit down and chill. Even not just sit down, like relax. I like to relax. And when you're cooking, you're like doing a lot of things at once. That's not for me. But some people enjoy it, obviously.
I think me and you are very similar in the sense of when we're smoking a cigar, if it's on our own, then, you know, it's our time. We're not trying to do this and that. It's just, right, time to decompress. Might put something on the TV, might I don't know, watch a video, might just listen to some music. That's one thing I'm looking forward to my cabin is I've got my record player, and I got nowhere in the house for it. So as soon as that cabin's built, that record player is going up. Blast out some Frank Sinatra, smoke a cigar. That is bliss. But no, I mean,
I do that a lot, but I play Latin music, so it feels like home.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm like, when it's been raining for like 3, 4, 5 days a week, and I'm like, oh man, this is a bit of rum, a cigar, and play some salsa, chilled. Oh, this
is rum your go-to pairing?
Sorry,
is rum your go-to pairing with a cigar?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I tend to go for a whiskey. I'm a big whiskey. That's the one.
No, I love whiskey.
Yeah,
I just find that rum and cigars.
I need to try it because I've had rum and lemonades. You know, when you're on a night out and things like that. I've never. It
depends on the rum.
Yeah, I've never sat there and enjoyed a nice rum.
Yeah.
So it's like James Drew, my friend who lives just over there. I think we've got a nice set, to be fair, where we're just going to sit down. He's got a few different bottles of rum, and he's like, we're going to find what kind of rum you like. And a few cigars. Because whiskey is the one thing that my family do. My brother and my dad, we all just sit there and love whiskey.
Yeah.
So that is the one thing I inherited of this sort of lifestyle from them. Because they don't do cigars. My brother has tried some with me, and he's inhaling it. I'm like, stop inhaling it.
But wrong. You're doing it wrong, man. Wait.
Yeah, stop doing that. No, but whiskey is my family's thing.
Yeah.
My dad, even my mum collects. My mum does not drink. She collects whiskey because
the bottles are nice.
Yeah, we go to the Penderyn distillery.
I want to do a tour with them, and I want to get in touch with them guys.
We'll have to go. Well, it's phenomenal because there's one in Swansea and there's one in Brecon Beacons.
I've driven past the one in Swansea, I think.
Yeah, it's
like right in a long road next to a school, I think.
Right next to the stadium is the one.
Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know. You said the one in Brecon. I don't know. I've driven past one, and like after I drove past it, I'm like, oh, that's. Yeah. When I turned around and it was closed.
We'll have to go because honestly, it's amazing there. But so whenever we go to a distillery, they will go and get the collection ones, and my mum's all about it's an investment. My dad's like, I'm going to drink that.
She's investing on me.
Yeah. She's like, oh, this box could be worth 10 grand. I'm like, only if it's full.
No, I like wine. Sorry, I like whiskey as well. But I like smoky whiskeys, the Froy and stuff. And sometimes it's hard to pair with a cigar because they're very strong. With a rum, I enjoy proper rum.
Yeah.
Not the spice rum. I don't enjoy spice rums or this flavored rums that we get here.
Yeah.
I've tried those, but I find them too sweet, and then with the cigar, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But if you try my favorite is Venezuelan rum. No, maybe I'm a bit biased, but it's called Diplomatico rum.
Okay. Yeah.
And it pairs really good with cigars because it's smooth. It's a sipping rum.
Yeah.
So you are able to just sip and enjoy your smoke. I really enjoy smoking with that. Try drinking that when I'm smoking.
Yeah.
But I Dominican rum in general work. I find that as long as they're not spiced or flavored or anything like that, because there's like apple flavored rum. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think that.
I was gonna say, I think the thing that put me off rum in general, again, it's a cheap rum and it's just a sort of, I can't remember what brand it is, but it's just like a tiki rum, and it was terrible, absolutely terrible. And I was like, no, rum's not for me.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think is they create. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but when people go on holidays to the Dominican or something, they'll create rum drinks.
Yeah,
so drinks with rum, and then here they have bottled that together with fake flavors and bottled it. And I think that's why I don't like them, because I like rum and coke. I like when you have the real product with the real rum.
Yeah.
But not these mixtures that it feels so fake and it's really sweet, and I don't enjoy it.
I got for a, I don't know if you've ever drank Kraken. What's your thought on it? Not for you?
I've seen it. I haven't drunk.
Oh, okay. Because I got, again, I don't really drink rum, but I've got about 2 or 3 bottles in my house, and I'm like, do I try it straight with cigar? But I'm like,
but it's
very, very dark rum.
But it's not spiced or anything. I'm not sure, because I've seen it, and just the name makes me like, I don't think you're proper rum.
Yeah.
I'll go to like a Havana Club.
Yeah.
Havana Club. But by Havana Club,
the
Cuban rum, they have the Añejo 7-year-old, really nice. But I think the normal one is not expensive. And I think I've seen smaller bottles.
Yeah.
You don't buy a whole...
like miniatures and stuff like that, yeah.
Then that way you don't spend the whole bottle and then they sit in there.
I'll tell you what, if you want to try whiskies with it, though, I don't know if you've ever heard of Tamdu.
Tamdu.
They're 12-year, and to be fair, they sent me the cigar malt to make a video.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Like, it, on its own, it's nice, but when you're smoking with a cigar, you know how, like, in a cigar, every third changes?
Yes.
The whiskey changes with it, and it works so well. I've had, what's it called now? Dalmore cigar malt. And it was good, but that Tamdu cigar malt hit different.
Works nice,
really good. But to be fair, the Tamdu 12-year, it's probably my favorite whiskey of all time at the moment.
Really?
Really good.
I've tried it. It's nice. But again, I like really smoky.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I do like normal whiskeys. I about a year ago, actually, I think it was a year ago, a friend of mine said, have you ever tried Irish whiskey? I'm like, dude, if it ain't Scottish, it ain't. And he's like, no, you gotta try it, man. It is whiskey. Cool. So I tried it. Not bad, man. Irish whiskey is nice.
I was talking to someone yesterday about it. I think it was yesterday, because they posted a photo on Instagram of an Irish whiskey, and I was just looking there. I was like, the only Irish whiskey you really see is that proper number 12, and I was like, I'm not gonna drink that. I was like, that is anything celebrity endorsed. I'm kind of just stand away from. But then I was talking to them. They were like, "No, Irish whiskey is really good if you get the right ones."
Yeah.
And I suppose it's the same with Scotch. Like with Scottish whiskey, there's a lot. Some are much better than others.
Yeah. And it also depends, like we were saying earlier, about what you like, what you
your
enjoy.
personal preference as well, isn't it? Yeah.
But what I found with I've tried like 3 different Irish ones. They pair well with cigars. They're a bit sweet.
Yeah.
And the notes are not that strong. Well, the ones that I drank, I found them nice. And even like American bourbon and stuff.
American bourbon, again,
some.
Yeah. I like the Buffalo Trace. Really
Buffalo
good.
Trace.
Really good.
Cheap and cheerful, man. It works.
Exactly.
Have you tried the Buffalo Trace? Well, it's not called Buffalo Trace. It's called something Eagle. I forgot the name now, but it's Dark Eagle, Black Eagle, something Eagle, but it's made by Buffalo Trace.
a bourbon as well, is it?
Yes.
No, I haven't tried that. No.
Really nice.
Yeah?
And with cigars, that I drink with cigars.
I'm going to have to get that, no.
But I've only
I've
seen
got to
it on
get 2
Waitrose.
bottles of alcohol now. I've got to get a rum and that now.
I've only seen that one on Waitrose, though. I don't know why, but I only seen it on Waitrose. Or online.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
on
yeah.
a shop that you can grab it. On Waitrose, man. And it's really nice. Then I've tried, they have another one, which is 101% proof or something like that. That's strong. It's bourbon again. I forgot the name, but that's really strong.
Yeah,
that wasn't good for the cigars. But the one that you mentioned, the Buffalo Trace, it's fine.
Yeah, because
It
it was very interesting with Penderyn, because Penderyn's so they've got their bourbon barrels that they use to put it into originally, and that are ex Buffalo Trace barrels.
Yeah.
And now they said that, I'm like, you do get that bourbon through it, and obviously Buffalo Trace is one of my preferred bourbons. Everyone starts with a Jack Daniels. Can't touch it now.
Oh man,
I cannot touch it. I could do a Jack and Coke, but I couldn't do a straight Jack Daniels.
I can't do them no more either.
No.
I was like, well, this was the place where I used to go out with in, like where Peppermints is now. There used to be a club there, and it used to the only club in Cardiff that closes at 5. That would be all of my friends were like, that's the end point.
Yeah.
And all night was Jack and Coke, Jack and Coke, Jack and Coke.
Yeah.
And since I started drinking proper whiskey,
can't touch it.
I tried it, and it's like spiced rum. It's rum, but it's not real rum.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels, it's not real, man. It doesn't taste like it should taste.
Yeah, well, I was watching something on the Jack Daniels honey the other day.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a honey liqueur mixed into Jack Daniels. So it's not even like a real honey whiskey. Like I was just like, oh.
But that was the thing. I obviously now when I taste it, it feels like syrupy, like there's a fake sugar in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's actually something added to it or whatever, but that's how I taste it. And I can't do it no more, man. But JD and Coke was the thing, man.
Yeah, I mean that's what started me off. You know, obviously you turn 18, you get me a bottle of Jack Daniels every day. But now, if I'm going for a bourbon, I'll tend to do Buffalo Trace. I like to mix different ones up, find different whiskies, but I tend to stick to the Scotch at the moment.
Eagle Rare.
Eagle
Rare.
Okay.
That's the name.
I'm gonna have to find
Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link if you want to.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
Eagle Rare. That's nice.
So with Toro Puro, do you think you're gonna start adding alcohol on there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's the again, like I said, the whole
the lifestyle.
The whole lifestyle. Start adding drinks, but that would be maybe the next stage. Obviously, I need to build customers, and once we start moving stock,
it's all the laws and licensing behind it as well. That's a headache in itself.
so that's the thing. So now I got it all set up for you to work with cigars.
Yeah.
When this is working and I got customers and cigars are moving, I want to bring coffee.
Nice.
Okay, from Colombia. I want to bring my own.
Really good,
like same as I'm going to do.
You could
with
have your
cigars.
own brand as well. Yeah.
Well, yes, and I also want to bring from local producers like a coffee that I know is good, that is not in the UK, or that will be, maybe we could do something with cigars.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Perfect coffee for cigars or something like this, you know. So coffee, rums, whiskeys. I will add the whole range of whiskeys and
that'd be really cool.
But that would be next, because obviously you gotta get licensing for that, more investment, more money. So as
that's the thing. Who's getting the stock in itself is going to be a big expense, isn't it? So
getting the licensing and everything is going to be an expense. And my thing is, I've started with the cigar. I want to build a customer base.
Yeah.
Once we have enough customers and packages are going out, then I know that if I add another product, there's a chance it will sell.
Yeah.
So if I make the investment and all the paperwork and all of this to get licensing for alcohol, because we will also have to move, either keep the cigars in one unit and create a unit for alcohol.
Can you not have them together though?
Not where I am. So at the moment, where I am is perfect for the humidor.
Yeah.
But there's no room for. But this is a room where I keep all the cigars. I will have to get another place. So that's more money, and But the idea is that, man, I want to grow it so that I could have alcohol, leather goods, coffees, and everything to do with the lifestyle.
And that's the thing, because what a lot of new businesses might do is go for sort of the not so well known brands, get the stock in. But you've got some really good names under you. So you got the I can't remember the name of the lighter.
DuPont.
Phenomenal lighters. You got lots of VSB products. VSB are phenomenal. Yeah. I do really like VSB's products.
The guys are really nice as well.
They're really guys. I met I can't remember.
Sanji?
Yes, I met him at a cigar event in Newport.
Oh, and, yeah, he came to the manor.
Yeah, so I was talking to him for ages. Such a nice guy, really nice guy, and a wealth of knowledge as well. He was telling me how they started. Where basically, I think their friend ordered like a cheap Amazon one. He was like, I can make that way better. And I just love that. I really love that. I can make something so much nicer than that. Yeah. And just, he created a whole brand around it. And it's inspiring.
He's doing really well.
Really good.
Really well.
Really nice.
Well done for the guy.
Yeah. Their cigar pouches and they got like the 3 cigar holders.
Yeah.
And, some designs aren't particularly my taste. But that's what's great about them, where they've got some that I'm just like, I need that. And then some other people are going to be like, that's a bit of me, that is.
Like for example, I have from them the Cuban flag.
Yeah, I really like that.
I've sold the other ones, but it seems like the Cuban flag is not moving.
Really?
And I did think, because I am Latino, but I wouldn't buy a Cuban flag. Although I think it's somebody who really is into Habanos only.
Yeah.
And is happy, or been to Cuba and has memory, he'd be happy to have the Cuban flag. But he was like, dude, take the Cuban flag. Because I didn't choose it when I chose it from the catalog. I like to make an order. Like, what about the Cuban flag? I'm like, I wouldn't buy it. Who's going to buy it? He's like, no, they sell well. Having sold one.
It's weird because like the one for me that I wouldn't buy myself is the Union Jack. For me,
but it's too bright. That's the thing. Like,
yeah, for me, I just, I love being Welsh, British, everything like that. But I wouldn't have a Union Jack pillow in my house.
Yeah.
Or something like that, I just wouldn't do it. And I know people who do, and fair enough, you crack on. But for me, it's just not my personal taste. But then the other stuff they have, I'm more of a natural leather guy and things like that, and they look great. So yeah, like I said, your website in general.
Yeah, so
really shows that.
We also have the thin lamps. These guys, the cutters.
I love that guys.
Lovely guys as well. Obviously we got a lot of DuPont, the VSB, the thin lamps. We also have whiskey glasses, hand blown in Czech Republic. Tasting glasses.
Yeah, like proper snippers on there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get tumblers.
Nice. Yeah.
We got wine glasses from them as well. A couple of also another brand for ashtrays. Yeah, we have obviously it's not massive, but we have a good selection that you could go there. My idea was, as I'm starting, is whoever lands on the website should be able to find something they like.
Yeah.
A budget and something they'll enjoy. Eventually, obviously, I want to get like really good humidors.
Yeah.
Because I know the people who make, I know the factory where DuPont makes the humidors.
Yeah.
And they make for other brands. They have their own brand. The humidor here, I got them. I linked them up. They got it from there.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing humidor.
It looks really nice. I walked in, I was like, I need that in my cabin.
So I got all of this. I think it's because I speak the language, or I don't know. But I know a lot of people in the industry, more on that side, that the people on this side who wants to smoke my cigars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man. But it's great because once I build the customer base, I'm going to start bringing all of those products that, maybe are not in the UK yet, but are amazing products.
I think that's, for me personally, like I like exploring lots of different cigars. And with a lot of the tobacconists around here, you get some tobacconists like smokings that do have a very wide range. But then there's a lot of tobacconists that just stock the same thing as everyone else. It's all the same Cubans. It's all the same new ones. You'll have your Rock Patels guaranteed. Every tobacconist will have a Rock Patel, and just it's the same. But with yours, you have your Davidoffs. You have your recognized brands. But then there's so many on there. I'm like, I've never heard of that, and I want to try it because again, your website displays it so well. In the fact that like when you've taken photos of the cigars and you've displayed them on there, I can smell them already. I'm like, I need that.
I wanted them to look nice.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. I was looking, and I mean, I was a bit, I wasn't sure when I built the website, when I had the idea for the website and I built it, because I was like, if these guys are doing it this way, maybe because it works, and I'm just going to go and do it the opposite way, it might not work. But to me, as a consumer, you know, and you're scrolling and you can see the picture properly and all the details, and I wanted to put so that it's easy to recognize the strength, the what will it pair well with, or what notes you're gonna, instead of having to read and read and read or go on Google and research. I wanted it all there. So not everybody who smokes cigars is a geek like me.
Yeah.
You know, that I will just go and research and find out. I wanted somebody who just lands on the website. Okay, what's this cigar? Like for example, the Columbus. You open it up, you said straight away, these are the notes, very easy. Then you read a bit more if you want.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be easy to understand and a good experience.
That's one thing I'll say is, because you've got your general information, and then what I like that you've sort of separated the more in-depth information.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will just read that little bit, and then there'll just be a whole chunk of writing, and I can't be asked.
I don't read it.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's going to read it.
If you've got that little bit of information, and then you've got like further information, a little tab underneath. If you've read that little bit of information, you're more likely to read the rest because you're like, oh, I'm interested. Instead of, oh, I'm a dyslexic guy. Reading for me is a nightmare. But if I read a little bit and that captures me, I'll read the rest of it. I'll read I'll read your contact information. I'll read the lot after that.
And if you're not interested, then you move on.
Yeah.
Because what I was finding is that I was landing into this, especially when I started, I was landing into these websites, and not just the UK, because obviously I wanted to try cigars from everywhere. So I will just see on Instagram a cigar, and I just go and Google it.
Yeah.
And then you go into shops in the US or Spain or whatever, and you spend so much trying to understand the cigar that by the time you're like, oh, you know what? I'll come back to this another day. I was like, no, if you don't like it, if straight away tells you it's full strength or it has a note that you don't like, just move on. There's more, you know, there's more for you to select, and time is of essence. So I thought, instead of wasting your time there trying to read what the cigar is about, no, this is what it's about. You want to know more? Open here. Now you can read a lot. If you don't like it, then there's another one. Try it.
Yeah.
You know, find something that you like.
Well, I'm really proud of myself in the sense of the things I've picked up on is what you meant to do. So I'm really proud that I'm just like, no, I like that. I'm
happy you picked on those.
I don't know if that's just my nerdiness where I'm just like, I really like how he's laid that out.
A lot of people, same thing with the packaging. Because I had a couple of friends that like, they smoke cigars and they're like, why are you spending money on packaging, man? Just do like everyone else. I was like, for you, it's not important.
Yeah.
But once you had that experience, like I had the experience with the Louis Vuitton bag, I was like, since I remember that, you know, and it felt like I bought a luxury good, which the bag could be shit, but the experience, you know, it's same when you go to, like when I went to Davidoff and to buy my first cigars, and every time I go, they treat you like you're buying a luxury product. You know, the way they talk to you, the way they walk you in, the questions they ask you, is all about the experience and how you feel. You feel more welcome. You are more likely to enjoy, not just spend. Because my friends are like, you just want them to buy more. I'm like, well, the packaging is expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, that's why people just ship them as, you know, because it's expensive. So it's not just like, I want you to buy more because the more packaging I will waste, but I want you to have a good experience. You're buying a cigar. No, you're not buying a cigarette or a vape. You know, it's going to come in plastic thing.
A good salesman will sell without forcing or without pushing or pressuring people. Where if you're genuinely interested in this person, like if you're in a shop or if you're online, whatever you're selling, if you're genuinely interested in this person's, even their, you know, how their day been and what they're into, what their taste profiles are like, you're not even going to need to sell to them. You're just going to have a genuine conversation, and that will sell far better than just being like, please buy all this.
And that's the thing. Whenever I visited shops or lounges or places where people treated me, so to me, cigars is this. It's talking, building relationships. Yeah. So although you're going to a shop, again, let's put the Sahakins, for example. That was the first time I went to a shop. I went there, the way they treat, the relationship we created every time I go, it's like they know me for a long time and I feel welcome. And sometimes I don't even buy, but it's it's the atmosphere, it's the relationship, and I want that to be felt when you go into Toro Puro. Yes, of course, it's a shop, so you're there to buy something, and I'm there to sell you something. But even the YouTube channel, I do mention, you could maybe buy this in there, but then is widely available in the UK.
Yeah.
And you don't have to buy from my website. I want you to have a good experience. That's all. I don't want to be pushy because I come as a consumer.
Yeah.
I am a consumer. I was a consumer first. And I remember how it felt in one situation and the other situation. And the way that I liked is what I want to provide.
I mean, as a consumer myself, you could have the nicest looking shop with some of the cheapest prices, but if you treat me with disrespect or make me feel unwelcome, I'll go somewhere else and pay more for better service.
Or if you waste my time.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a couple of places in London, one in particular, and it was just a waste of time. And it's an amazing shop, and the history, it's beautiful. But the people there went creating an atmosphere, welcoming atmosphere, and I just walked out. I was like, not how I want to enjoy my cigar. Because it ruins, to me, again, going back to the ritual name, is the whole ritual. When I think of, I'm going to go to London to smoke a cigar, I'm already thinking, I'm going to meet this guy and I'm going to talk to them. We're going to have a conversation. We'll smoke a cigar. The cigar becomes like the connecting point, the reason why I'm going, but it's everything else that's making it special.
I mean, I've experienced that today alone. So I was downstairs in Le Monde. I was sat there at the bar. A few of them came up to me. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Oh, I'm good. I'm just waiting. But then I was just talking to one guy about Swansea, and just from that conversation and the welcome that they gave me, even though I'm not buying a drink from them, I'm just sat at the bar waiting. Essentially, they made me feel so welcome. I'm going to bring the wife back here 100%.
There you go. There you go.
The food helped. It looked amazing, so that helps. But
food here
just
nice.
The service that. It's not even a service. It's just a courtesy. Hello, how are you doing? It's just a conversation. But the way that they immediately embraced me into their place of work and made me feel welcome. Because, a lot of people might feel, I'm not buying anything from you. I shouldn't be sat here. Yeah. But they would just chill out, sit by the bar. Let's have a talk. And they were amazing. Yeah,
they're amazing.
They made me feel so.
So whenever
welcome.
You come to Cardiff, you want to smoke, come to Le Monde and ask for the smoking area. You come to Matisse upstairs.
I'm going to have to move to Cardiff and come here more often.
Well, there's the one in Bridgend. It's quite nice as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pop into that.
I did an event with them in there because they have what do they call it? It's like a conservatory, but it's posh.
Yeah.
So it's a, I don't know. They gave it a name, but it's a glass house basically, and it's got the special roof and windows, and so the circulation was good. And we did an event there, and it is again the food is similar. You have the bar, and you choose what you want to eat, and they cook it for you. They also have the menu, but the atmosphere, the way they treat you and stuff is really good. So if you can't make it to Cardiff, get to Bridgend.
Yeah. I'll show you the text later. But I sat down, I sent the wife a message. I was like, I need to bring you there.
You haven't seen it on the weekend. On the weekend when it's packed, you're like, I need to come here. I need to eat here, man. Like everyone's here for a reason.
I mean, what I love about this upstairs area as well, it almost feels like that sort of like 1920s proper like
lounge.
Like I can imagine there being a bit of jazz music playing up there, just feel like a proper cigar lounge. And I was like, this is
nice. I wanted to open a lounge, and that's kind of my idea. But I want to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I want to do a lot of things, but eventually, the problem here is like the law, man. You can't. I tried. I wanted to open one, but then I think I'll have to go to Bristol. But then
Bristol, yeah.
There's one already in Bristol, and the Manor House, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not a big city to have two.
Again, this is why I was surprised when you said you were from Cardiff, and I was like, I'm a big guy in the cigar industry in Cardiff, really. But again, Wales is great. I love Wales, and everything about Wales, the scenery and everything is phenomenal. I used to live outside of Aberystwyth, about 50 miles away, sort of in the mountains, on a farm. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
And,
so you were born in Aberystwyth?
I born in Aberystwyth Hospital, and then the house that I grew up in was about 15 miles away in a mountain on a farm.
Nice.
Grew up wild.
No,
but no, it was amazing.
I grew up before we came to UK. My dad owned farms.
Oh, nice, yeah,
loved it.
Yeah, honestly, it's a great way to grow up.
I think it's the best childhood.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like, as a kid, I definitely didn't appreciate it.
Now
and then I moved to a city, and I was like, I miss the farm. I miss it.
Well, I mentioned to you earlier, we go to Madeira often because my dad is from there, and the place where it's farms. Where he's born is farms. My grandmother's got farms. She got animals and stuff, and Venezuela is so far from me now, so we go there, and my kids, I'm like, listen, you gotta get dirty, throw stones, play in the mud, chase the animals, whatever. The things you learn. Oh, but it's boring and it's all green. There's nothing else to see. Wait when you grow up.
Yeah, honestly,
I love going back.
The amount of fun I had just running and jumping along hay bales and things like that, and you're just like, I fall off, break my neck, happy days. I'll be fine. I'll walk it off. And then you move to a city, and you're just like, apart from going to the park, what kids? I don't have kids myself, so I don't know. But what is there for kids to do?
With the weather here, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, you're playing Xbox all day.
So we try to get them out, but then you get them out to another building. You go bowling, you go to cinema, or you go to this jumping things that they have, and it's all indoors.
Yeah.
And I remember my childhood in Venezuela was, playing with snakes and being scared, and like you see a snake, oh, is it gonna bite me? No, it's not gonna bite me. Crabs, and you grab the crab and like, oh, cool, they look cool. Now my kids, all these things are like TV.
Yeah.
They never get to experience. And although it might not seem like a big deal, now that I've been living in the city for so many years, you miss that connection. And I think the freedom of being in the outdoors, and again, you might fall and you might break a bone, but like, get up and walk it off, man. If no blood is coming out, you're okay.
My mom, we put her through hell because we were just stupid. I grew up with my older brother and my two older cousins, and we were all boys, stupid, doing everything. Our fun was running into a field that had a bull in and just getting chased by the bull and trying to jump over the fence.
See, that will never happen in town. That will never happen in a city.
And my mom's obviously don't get hurt, but at the same time she's like, crack on.
They all done it. It's normal. It's normal. Well, it's the thing. Like, I used to come home and like, Mom, look at this snake. And she's like, that's a venomous one. I'm like, really? But it's tiny. You have it on a stick, And like, are you sure? Throw it out. Oh, okay, I'll throw it out.
Yeah, that's the thing about growing up wild, though. It's just, you just miss it.
Yeah. And now that I'm older and I got the kids, I'm like, I like taking them to places like that because the experiences that I had, you never get in a city. But then also they live in a city, so they get in both.
Yeah.
It's like me. After I left there, we came to London, big city. Then Cardiff is alright. London was too big for me. But I do think those years of my life were with nature, and you learn about animals, and you see things, and you play with stuff, and you throw stones. You're not going to break a window because there's no windows around. Just throw stones, and we have a lot of fruits because it's a tropical country. So we got mangoes and we got avocados, and climbing up a tree to drop mangoes, and it's like my kids never do that.
Yeah,
I was like, listen, guys, we got to go to the forest.
Yeah, I mean, I see kids around mine, all we've got is houses and a little patch of grass with a park in the middle. How many of those kids have ever climbed a tree in their life?
It's never going to happen in the city, man.
No. Well, thank you very much, mate. It's been an amazing conversation, amazing cigar, and it's great to finally meet you. We've been trying to sort this out for so long, and our schedules always clash, so it's so good to finally meet you. Thank you so much, mate.
Likewise,
pleasure as always.
Nice, thank you. Thank you guys for watching as well.